Greetings to all my friends and family on social media. This is a message that I want to share with everybody that I know, regardless of your political leanings, regardless of your religious beliefs. It's concerning to me when people, in the absence of facts, make determinations, make judgments. The fear that I have from my observations with social media is we all have a tendency, myself included, we all have a tendency to just kind of swipe through our news feed, and we're just looking at headlines, we're looking at memes, we're looking at just surface level information, and then we see something and it resonates with us, and then we share it, we retweet it, we post it without digging deep, without really looking into what's the true story, what's really going on. We need to be looking for truth and not parroting narrative. And I'm saying that to my liberal friends, and I'm saying that to my conservative friends, I'm saying that to myself, and I'm saying it to you. I believe that there is such thing as truth. And I believe that it is important for us as human beings to seek truth. That is one of the highest callings of humanity, is to seek truth, to pursue truth. We need to get better at learning from each other. We need to get better at listening to people who think differently than we do. Right now is the perfect storm. Not only are we very divided as a nation, very divided politically, but we also don't have the ability to come together in person and have conversation and learn from one another. Normally we would be able to meet in churches, to meet in bars, to meet in restaurants, to go out with our friends and have these conversations and bring our differences of opinions and our different viewpoints and our different ways of viewing the world and our different ideas, and we could bring these together in conversation, and we could dialogue and discuss and make fun of one another, and then at the end of the day you come away from that conversation and you realize, oh, you know what, I didn't really understand this as well as I thought I did. This diversity of opinion can be a good thing, but it can also be divisive. And divisiveness will lead to conflict. And if we are not having this conflict in the realm of free speech, if we're not having this conflict in sharing ideas and debating one another, if we're not doing that, then the conflict is going to continue to happen in the streets as we're seeing it happen. Wherever you see there to be a us versus them mentality, you need to pursue people who think differently than you and have those conversations and try and rationalize how it is that they think. If somebody thinks differently than you, that doesn't mean necessarily that they are a racist or a bigot or a Marxist or a communist. Assume positive intent. The best example I have of this is look at the abortion argument. I'm a pro-life person, and I think that killing babies in the womb is a horrible, evil thing. And somebody else might be pro-choice, and they think that that it's a women's rights issue, that legislating what a woman can and can't do with her body is a horrible, evil thing. So for me, and I've done this, I'm guilty of this, but for me as a pro-life person, if I am having a debate or an argument with somebody of the other side, and I say, well, you just want to murder babies, that's not assuming positive intent. Now, in my mind, that might be true, that what they're doing is murdering babies, but in their mind, it's not. In their mind, it's a clump of cells. It's not a human being, it's a clump of cells. And if they think it's a clump of cells, then they don't think that there is any issue with doing a medical procedure on a clump of cells. So I have to at least give them that benefit of the doubt to have an honest conversation, and then we can look at, okay, well, let's have a conversation about, is a clump of cells a human being or not, and what makes a human being a human being? Am I just a clump of cells? Or are you just a clump of cells? There's a whole different conversation you can have there. The same thing is true with any kind of divisive political hot button issue. If somebody's saying Black Lives Matter and somebody else is saying all lives matter, don't immediately jump to the conclusion that, oh, this person's a racist, or oh, this person's a communist, or oh, this person's that, or this person's whatever. Like, have the conversation and find out, hey, why do you support Black Lives Matter? Or have the conversation to find out, hey, why don't you support Black Lives Matter? But have the conversation and find out from your friend, from your neighbor, from your family member, what it is that they believe and why it is that they believe that. This doesn't mean that you have to agree with them. It doesn't mean that you have to convince them or have them convince you or change somebody's mind or anything like that. Just try to understand what another human being thinks and why they think that way, and hopefully it will help you realize, and it'll help me realize, that we don't have the full picture, that we don't know everything that there is to know. We need people with different opinions, with different political leanings, with different personalities to come together and form a better, more cohesive whole. That's what America's all about. That's what we need to do to move forward, to push through this divisiveness and to come together and to come out stronger on the other side. So hopefully that helps. And I look forward to irritating you again later on social media. Good night.